Welcome in, everybody. This is another Stormgate cast. I'm Algorithmore, and this is going to be featuring HYY, also known as I Use the Grimmy builds. Today he'll be playing in the Vanguard faction, also a expert in the Celestial faction. Today we'll be showcasing his Vanguard skills. And I put a little call out, hey, send me some replays if you got them, and he sent me one of these ones, and so I am sure it's going to be a great game. We'll check it out. Now his opponent in this game, playing the Infernal faction as we see here in the blue, this is SenagaloRuskov. A regular feature, both of these players regular features on my channels, because both of them are among the top players in the game. In fact, both of them I believe have had the rank 1 on the leaderboard at one point or another, if not now. I didn't check the leaderboard today. Maybe they're up there right now. The first two Fiends from Senagalo get in there, but the Lancer from HYY, gets both of them. That's clutch micro. And maybe a little bit of miss micro from Senagalo from not being able to get either of them out. Sometimes you get both of them out. But now it's the Lancers coming across. Checking for a third. They hear the Lumber Imp. Or at least we hear the Lumber Imp. And, the Lumber Imp gets away as the Brute shows up. Two Lancers will take out a Brute, almost certainly. So the Brute's running away. Back to the safety of his Imp line. Ooh, and a Goner? A Goner. Whatever, we'll just go with that. It was a Goner. Lost the effigy there. Oh, and these gaunts are looking a little bit overextended, but nope, they pull back. Senagalo not wanting to donate those gaunts for free. And we're up to 3 and now 4 Lancers for HYY. The Lancer opening, putting on the pressure. Imp over here wants to become a base and makes it. Other Imp probably going to be a farm.
Dimensional rift detected. A Stormgate will activate soon.
Stormgate activating. These Lancers trying to get around and deny the base. And ooh, I like it. They go take a swipe on the tribute pyre and then back off.
A Stormgate has appeared.
2 more Lancers. 3 more Lancers, I should say. We're up to 7. And Senagalo sitting nice and defensively here between his 2 bases. But HYY is decided, I'm going to go for that Stormgate. Got a bunch of Lancers. And these Lancers are being real suspicious over here. I think he's hoping some army comes up here to fight him. He's like, oh, there's only 4 Lancers there. I can take that. And then he's going to swing in with another 5 and smash him down. But he's got 1 Lancer on a scout down here to find out that, no, the army is actually in the defensive position. And look, that triggers him to bring his Lancers in and just finish off the Stormgate. And what do we get there? Shadow Mark. That's our macro reward, which, okay, I like how he does it. He puts down a couple extra racks and then he's gonna bust it right in the middle. Now you should bust it now. It actually boosts the build time too. He might be waiting. Nope, he was waiting to put down another one. There we go, there we go. Any buildings built after you trigger the Shadow Mark are not gonna be covered by it, but anything that's in production already will. And in the meantime, we got some Lancers here. Ooh, that was not a good run in. They sort of did a hokey pokey there. That's what I call it when you just sort of run forward and back without doing any damage. You run in and you're like, oh no, and then you run back, hokey pokey. Did that and lost a few Lancers as a result. Lancers sweeping back in. Oh, but the Hellborn are a nice little defense there. Even though at the moment they were sort of just by themselves, they had enough units nearby to protect them. And they have that nice range and nice damage that anything that gets close gets a nice fiery basketball to the face and says, wait, I don't want to be here. I need to turn around. And these Lancers of HYY soaking up in the wellspring here. Getting as much health as they can before they go on effigy clearing duty. There goes down one. Another one going to go down here. We've got Exos added here, so this army's starting to look even more punishing. Ton of gremlins fall, but that's what gremlins are for. They are just fodder. They are just tribute, if I will. And now it is time for Senagalo to do a fun little flank play with, actually, I didn't see that necrotic hexfield going down. Kind of myths, though. Or maybe, better put, HYY dodged that quite well, not wanting to get stuck under that. And that's really just the right way to play against necrotic hexfield. You don't want to stand in it.
A Stormgate will activate
Again,
soon.
some Hellborns getting some pot shots off, killing a couple Lancers there. Senagalo pushing the Shroud out a bit as he pushes forward, but Exo's taking some free pot shots on, not Gaunts there, what are those, Brutes.
A Stormgate has appeared.
Stormgate appears. These units are in position to go take it. And Senagalo is going out to maybe try and take a base. Interesting time. Yeah, so now Senagalo is marching back, noticing that the Stormgate's up. And that was an interesting choice. While the Stormgate's up, I think you want to put some, you know, maybe deny it. In this case, the moving back and forth means that the Stormgate was won by HYY. What do we get? Some Void Prowlers. Oh, nice Necrotic Hexfield, but System Shock to cleanse the curse, and everyone goes back. Heal up. Void Prowlers over here looking for 6th base, 5th base, whatever number that is. Not finding it, but there is a 4th base down here. And I think Senagalo saw, hey, he popped Void Prowlers. Oh, those units, they were in a perfect position, and then they got pulled out. And that's the problem with all army, or having everything on one hotkey. I'm not sure. Senagalo is a strong player, so he probably knows how to split his units off. As he's done here, he split off a small group to deal with the Void Prowlers, while HYY was trying to poke on the front line too. Ooh, those Void Prowlers are so beefy and strong. Imps finally turned to fight as well. And... oh! No! Look at how speedy that brute was. He triggered his... this Void Prowler's doing everything. Anyways, I'm watching that one Void Prowler, seeing if it'll ever be cleaned up, and there's an actual battle going on over here. That's why all of Senagalo's units were running away. And actually Senagalo is trying to get in here and maybe catch the units a little bit out of position and flank them against the side of the map here. Of course, using the hex field to try and do that zoning. But now he's been pushed back into his base. Hex field goes down. Don't want to stand on it. Have to go single file past the flat cannon over there. That gives free range for Senagalo's units here on the right hand side. The flat cannon, although, is putting down some punishing damage. I don't see any more hex fields now. And a hex field, oh, there's the hex field on top of the flat cannon, on top of all the bio now. But in comes a hurricane from above, and as the command post goes down, the army of HYY pushes forward and tries to kill some of these Hellborn, but there's still just like a lot of Phantoms and Fiends showing up from all the curse that was on the field. There goes a couple Shadow Flyers into the hurricane, but not enough to take it down.
Dimensional rift detected. A Stormgate will activate soon.
We got a little bit of a bunker rush going on over on the other side. Now these units might be marching over there too, as we see Senagalo is moving into response.
A Stormgate has appeared.
So this is starting to get cleaned up, but the units of high HYY coming in behind here and managing to get there just in time to kill a couple of Hellborn for free. And while the bunkers sort of got cleaned up here, so did a lot of the army of Senagalo, or at least a lot of the reinforcements and side army ended up fighting into HYY's units, and they just had the upper hand in most of those battles, as they do still. Picking off unit after unit that comes running by here. All the reinforcements going down to the Exo Fire. 2 Hurricanes. They're just flying above, giving some oversight support from the sky. And there we go. Bombing run goes off. Just going to clean out some of the trees, it looks like. Bombing run on the trees. Interesting choice. Income a ton of Shadow Flyers. 1 Hurricane goes down. Other one looks like it triggers its return to hangar. And these units down here on the bottom seem to just be invincible, even though they're standing in the hex fields there. Huge! What was that? Flame Imp. Yes, huge Flame on impacts here. Another one taking out so many Exos, and now finally HYY has to retreat. But this base was the casualty of that attack. Regrouping for both sides. There is a Stormgate, just last moments. And another little push here. So HYY trying to take his advantage and turn it into a win. Looks like he sent some servos over here getting ready to put a base down. But is continuing to pressure on the left side. Now, one reason is this left side is where all the mining will be in the late game. If you can cancel it out now, and those other mines start mining out, which they will very shortly. This is right about the time that first mine starts mining out. You might have an advantage, although it's Senagalo now pushing that back the army of HYY. Added some Spriggans above. Not sure exactly how that helps. That sounded very condescending or something. What I mean is, are they there for tanking? DPS? A little bit of both? In the past there, they were a little bit too squishy. They're not super strong tanks. But by tanks, I mean, if they're drawing Exo Fire, that's going for the Spriggans instead of your Gaunts or whatever else might be there. That means some of the ground army that might be putting out more DPS might be actually around for a little bit longer and get a little bit more kills. Here's a major battle. Again, System Shock in. Then we saw the Hex Field and the System Shock right back out again.
A Stormgate will activate soon.
A couple more Hex Fields go down. Senagalo splitting his army. Inviting
A Stormgate has appeared.
Inviting HYY to go for the Stormgate. Trying to get a nice flank play in on it. But now it's HYY who's gained the high ground. We see a little mine there. It's going to totally be avoided. Love it. But here we go. Ooh, it sort of seems to have a delayed reaction there. But the flanking play came in from Senagalo. But he's kind of pulled back. Trying to get a little bit better positioning and then move in again. Huge System Shock to bring HYY off the high ground through the ramp. Bombing plays. Take out a few Gaunts, few Hellborn sounded like went down there as well. Stand them up. We now have Atlases in the back as well. Senagalo trying to take a moment and steal the Stormgate over here. While HYY is still pushing forward. Triple Hurricane now. And the double Atlas in behind here. So this high ground position is going to be fairly punishing now. But we have a push in from both sides. We've got one lash on one of the Atlases. The other Atlas is going to go down very quickly here. Hex Field's on the Bio, so the Bio has to pull back. But the Hurricanes above are doing a pretty good job. We have a deep one out as well. But a lot of the ground army has melted for Senagalo. We have Hellborn in the back still. Even though Magmadon has gone down, there's just a handful of Gaunts left. It does look like the Hurricanes were killed, except for this one who's retreating. But that was a win for HYY. So many units went down in that flank play. Usually flank plays come out as the winning play. But that was a well-entrenched position for HYY. Couple more Atlases showing up. And now it's going to be a full-on push into the base. This is going to be one of those Vanguard slow pushes where the tanks are going to help and the Bio's just going to slowly push on the front of the army there, or on the front of the buildings. In comes another attack, although retreated right back after sort of fainting in there. I think Senagalo is just waiting until he can get a lot of units up to push back on this. We've already seen him try to do a couple of those plays where he's got maybe a bit of a split army all flanking in from different sides. Sadly, they just have not been effective thus far. Here we go with another push in. Fighting in the Wellspring, always awkward and weird. Both sides healing. But we're starting to see the tide turn back in favor of HYY. The push came out. The deep one's preserved for now.
A Stormgate has appeared.
Another Stormgate in the top left. Awkward positioning. I think we're going to see the end here. As another triangle down. Here we get another little push from Senagalo into the army. Deep one and a Hellborn behind. But we've got survival protocol. We got the healing from the medtech. These Exos are staying alive for a while. A few Flamons there. But that'll be GG from Senagalo.